Alright guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Red Sonja and Claw the Conqueror by Annie Smith and Layman. I forgot the first name. This is issue number 2 from Wildstorm Dynamite. Covered by, I believe, Gabrielle Del'Otto. Looks great, by the way. Issue number 1 was okay, I guess, but I noticed that a lot of, it's not really Wildstorm, right? Dynamite's stuff is not really clicking with me when it comes to art. Although this Andy Smith is a great artist, but later on the quality in art is really dropping in the last couple of years. I heard they do not do very well anymore. I mean, they have great covers, but the interior art is atrocious. Luckily, Andy Smith is a good artist. Not a big fan of the sometimes of the backgrounds. It feels a little bit, I don't know, basic, empty. But then the colorist needs to step in and then fix a couple of things. But it also does not really complement each other at a certain point. It does look fine, I guess. Color shading. There was a time when colorist comes in and shades then the details when normally the artist would do that with a little bit of hatching, etc. or not, but sometimes I think it clashes with each other. All right, so we have Red Sonja and Claw here. They try to visit a friend, some kind of a old companion. They need its help, or his, I believe it's a he. But they are not being welcomed in a friendly manner. And they try to fight for their lives. This is a little bit what I mean with digital coloring, right? It's just blood spatters. And then we have some blood that's been drawn, you know what I mean? Blood spots that's been drawn. So there's a mix. And I also don't like, especially with the hair, I mean, some parts of the hair that was like this that looks okay, that looks fine. But then in other instances, it's just, I don't know, it's just looks like it's unfinished, or not specifically the hair, but also other parts of the backgrounds. Anyway, so we know that, or we learned that there is some unholy monsters being bred here. Also, the dialogue is sometimes not clicking with me as well. They know that breed mean with mean would produce meaner, and to breed strange with strange would produce stranger. Really? Great dialogue, man. That was sarcasm, by the way. Anyway, so these creatures come in to attack, and it seems that they are not all on the... Well, they cannot distinguish friend or foe. And this guy is basically telling the reader that. And they are, being killed. But also, Red Sonja is Red Sonja. And she's doing great stuff. I mean, jumping on on this creature's head. Also, Claw the Conqueror. She basically warns him, say, you need to get out of the way, or otherwise you will be killed by its claws. But he has a sharp blade and claws of his own. Anyway. All right, but Red Sonja says, hey, we must retreat. There is just too many, right? There's not a battle that we can win. He gets some claws across his, or, some wounds across his chest. But Claw, he has, I don't know, double personality because of his claw. He says, no, we need more murdering. But then, Red Sonja doesn't take that very well. He says, now, you need to stop and we get the hell out of here. Otherwise, we are... I said, I don't want to be dying because of your stubbornness. So they are fleeing, right? And this guy is reporting then to its master. And it says that, everything is vanquished. They're friends, except these two. So he says, hey, let me go after them. But this guy says, oh, no, these are Red Sonja and the Claw. Red Sonja is a fantastic adversary, and he will not find her. But he has other ways to track her. And I think, oh, wait a minute, this guy also has a claw and has the same wound of Claw, that he, has here, right? Are they connected? And what's this, by the way? Never heard of it. So Sonja wakes him up and he says, hey, we need to go, right? Because they are on our tail. He says, what? Where are we? We must return to battle, he says. In good day, today's fight is over. He calls her a coward. I said, what? And she calls him a fool, right? Too much brown, in my opinion. But okay, that's probably because of this. I mean, I have a lot of these books with, Red Sonja and barbarian books, let's call it that. It's just too much brown. I don't know what they were thinking. It's just not very a pleasant way to look at it. Luckily, we have some other colors. So she says, I will turn to the corrupted city and have my revenge against the wizard who betrayed and killed my friends. Not tonight. I've seen enough of battle and war to learn of its dread consequences. And she also tells him, hey, you are wounded. You need to rest. And he says, what wounds? What injury? So it seems that he can heal from that, right? How convenient. So then, Red Warrior, if we are not to battle this night, what is the plan? So we make for the canyons of Cyananor. And I don't know. If we're being trailed, we'll lose our pursuers in this vast labyrinth. Is it a labyrinth? I don't see it that way. Because somehow somebody built a house on top of this mountain pass that people can very easily fall off. Why would you build a house here? It's so not convenient at all. I mean, you have to go down from this canyon below for food and drinks and then go up again. It's just, what's the use? All right, so Sonja says, hey, hello there, good sir, we need to get in. I pay you for your, for that they can sleep here and for his silence. But then, I don't know. Oh my God. Claw says, no, we need to kill him because that's the only way he will be silenced. And what is this pose, man? Poor guy. He has only one leg, too. Yeah, no. But then Sonja has enough. And she says, contain yourself, Vulcan, because that's his name. Quell your battle lust. I know Red Sonja is strong, but you cannot tell me that she is this strong that she, I don't know, easily throw this guy into the corner. I mean, this guy is huge, like Conan, right? But, she's Red Sonja. I let it pass. All right. And he comes to his senses again. He says, oh yeah, I'm Vulcan. I'm not Claw. Forgive me. My apologies. This arm has spilt much blood this day, yet it craves more. I am fatigued while it is strong. He says, well, I wouldn't be surprised if you would have killed me. And she says, let's not come to that, but she might think about it. All right, and he has a nightmare. So this old guy says, well, I'm going to sleep in the shed, and I am going to kill some chickens so that this guy can get his health back or something like that. And he says, be gone, leave me, no. He says, cease your muttering. You are not the only one in need of rest after this day. But then a strange sound and talks to Red Sonja. No, my fair Harcanian, there will be no sleep for you tonight. He said, who said that? Well, it's Claw, but it's not Claw, right? He says, don't you remember me? This creature says, do you remember how we fought together when the blade of Red Sonja and the axe of Fanador and the magics of Baxla were power enough to turn the tide, not just of a battle, but an entire war? Aye, wizards, it seems that in years since you've grown to like power a little too much. He says, well, you shouldn't have returned because I'm now way different now. And you will find my temper has changed very little. So she says, do I need to kill my patriots to be rid of you and your adder tongue? So that is not necessarily a warrior woman. I will put the part for now. All right, but then he wakes up. He says, hey, what's going on? And she says, we need to get out of here. He said, what's the meaning of this? She said, your claw, your thrice damn infernal claw. You may sleep, but it's obvious to me that it does not. It was like a beacon to the wizard. He used to speak through you. He knows where we are, and his minis will soon be upon us. So she says, this is the reason that that I don't, travel with other people. How many times have I drawn my sword on you already? This is a partnership that cannot end well. I think, okay, I like that, and I like this particular part that although she wants to help him, she sees that she cannot. How many abs does this guy have, by the way? Jesus. So he says, well, I agree. And she packs her things and wishes him well. But when she opens the door, well, it's too late because they're already here. How? Don't know, but maybe, I don't know. Well, I do know, but it's a little bit ridiculous that they're already here. But all right, what do I know? Maybe the wizard has already connection through the arm and therefore sent immediately his troops or something. So this, I don't know, leader, general guy says, hey, come out, you are outnumbered. What would you choose? He gets a dagger through his head, and then they're just jumping out and let's say, huzzah! And then they're shooting arrows, and they are just, dude, come on. At least one or two arrows should have, hit them, right? But they're doing this whirly blint, this, you know what I mean, right? And they are just, it's a little bit ridiculous. How did they get there anyway? I mean, they're coming from the shed. Shouldn't they just be pulled back into the shed instead of, oh no, let's completely turn towards the edge of the cliff and then have a final stand or something? But then this guy says, oh no, hey, we need to take you in anyway, and if you refuse, we're gonna kill you, right? And Vulcan says, no, it's my fault. This is my curse. And Red Sonja says, no, as long as we draw a breath, we are not without options. Do not do anything rash. So he says, hey, you, between serving your rancid master and death, I will go to hell of my own choosing. And for at least this way I can take you with me. Is it that easy that you just go up him and just grab him? It's just probably. And then he falls off the cliff into the water. The others say, your friend is dead, and you, Red Sonja, are our prisoner. Listen to the next issue. Okay, I'm somewhat intrigued, right? I don't think this is the best. It's not the best series. It could be entertaining, but it really all depends how it would end. So I'm a little bit on the fence of that. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just something in the middle for now. Could go either way, right? Anyway, that means we are reached the end of the video. I hope you like it. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, like, subscribe. Leave a comment, sign up to my project, my comic project. I leave the link in the description. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.